Walk me through your day-to-day life, working with these banks. How does your day look like? And when did you decide that, you know what, I need to share this with the public? When did you make that decision?
Well, when I quit, grew up in Ottawa. I went to university, Ottawa U. I did finance,
Okay.
commerce, business. I ended up getting a job part-time as a teller at Scotiabank. The rest of my life, I cannot just keep doing this. I think the biggest push, in particular, I'm not going to name exact bank or the exact branch, but at RBC,
Okay.
where I was known for just approving lines of credits for everybody. Which is part of why I'm able to do what we do, because we know sort of the loopholes. I was basically pretty adamant about, like, let's just give them whatever they need. Let's lower the interest rates as much as possible. I'll use whatever my powers are to lower interest rates. You have the right to do that. But then the bank makes less money, and there's this whole like revenue model where the bank is going to make less money. Customers have rights. Banks are federally regulated. They are public corporations, and if they look bad in front of the media and all those sorts of things, that'll tank their share price. They have a certain image to uphold.
Okay.
I've had issues with Instagram. I've had issues with TikTok where I try to post something and it gets taken down.
Okay.
So there's that whole side of sort of censorship where you can't say certain things, and when you start talking about the government and our lovely prime minister and whatever it is, there's certain things you say, they limit the reach or they take down the post altogether. You are entitled to due process. There's 4 levels you can actually escalate your applications. Okay. I'm unhappy with this decision. I would like for you guys to formally escalate my application. Okay. They have to. Then they're gonna go. Oh shit. Okay. And now it goes to the branch manager. The branch manager will look at it. Hopefully he's chill. Hopefully he knows what he's doing and he wants to sort of help you out.
Okay.
If he's a conservative old guy or something, he's gonna say, "I'm sorry, sir." Blah blah blah. Right? You then say, "Okay, I would like to re-escalate again. I'm not happy with this decision."
Help any of your, clients or even you yourself buy real estate in Canada with zero down payment? Is it still possible in this market, or it's not something you can talk about?
What do you think?
Canadian banking system is designed to do what? If you want to complete that sentence, what will you say?
It's designed to keep you as a slave.
Gula, Joe, or Jane listening now, listen to this episode fired up, saying, yes, I get it right now. I know what I need to do. Mo has given this advice. What would you tell them to do in the next 24 hours or in the next 1 week or even in the next 1 month? What's one thing you're going to give them to turn everything around? Hello. Welcome to another episode of the 7th Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Aziz Adesanya. And today we have another amazing guest in the studio with me. You might have been thinking of your credit score in Canada, how you can put your finances in the right place, and you really don't know how to get started, what you can do, especially because the system is actually built for you not to even know what you should do. So today, I have a very, I would say, a professional that I see that he has been sharing the knowledge about this in a very fun and raw way. He has worked with some of the best or top banks you can think of in Canada, RBC, Scotia, CIBC, name it. He has worked with them. He has walked across the seat with people that make decisions about if you're going to get a mortgage, or you're going to get a loan, or maybe you're going to get a credit card. And suddenly one day he decided that he have to share this knowledge to the whole world, to the public, to Canadians, to know what happened behind the desk. The banks are not happy, I'm sure, but today you're going to love the conversation. I want you all to welcome Mo Rafi to my podcast today. Thank you, Mo, for coming.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
I know a lot of people, when they start this podcast, or maybe they're going to see your picture on the thumbnail, they might know you. But I'm still sure a lot of Canadians don't know who you are. Just give us a little bit of who Mo is. What should we expect today, Mo?
Well, we focus on credit scores in Canada, how to help people become financially literate. A big focus is on, just if I was to dumb it down, is to just chuck traditional advice. So this, I guess, the standard sort of advice people are given, especially newcomers who come to Canada, and just general Canadians, are just to keep saving and go to the bank, put your money into mutual funds, and all of this traditional advice, in my opinion, is just complete nonsense now. And it's the whole idea is to just chuck it financial advice that's traditional and just think outside the box. That's kind of my whole thing, and that's what we try to teach.
You said you're trying to teach that, and you're not taking the traditional knowledge away. You're just trying to let them see what they don't want us to see. Before all this, because I think you are more popular on TikTok. Before the TikTok education, putting out content before you started, walk me through your day-to-day life, working with these banks. How does your day look like? And when did you decide that, you know what, I need to share this with the public? When did you make that decision?
Well, when I quit.
Yeah.
When I quit. Yeah. It was a point. There was a point. So I let me just give some background. So I was a teller at Scotiabank.
Okay.
Okay. Then I was a trader at TD. Okay. Then I was an account manager at RBC.
Oh my goodness. So
Okay.
you kind of understand everything.
Okay. Then I was a financial planner at CIBC.
Wow.
That's when we managed about $40 million in assets. So a lot of wealthy people and stuff. Then I became a mortgage advisor, like a mortgage broker at CIBC. And at that point, I said, forget all this, man. I'm going to do my own thing. And I basically took all the pieces from all of the banks and I had that knowledge. And then I myself started applying for lines of credits. And I basically used all the banks at the same time. Got a bunch of money approved, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. I used it on my family, on my friends. Everyone's getting approved. And then I realized realtors and mortgage brokers also needed people to help you get lines of credits. To then help with down payment. So then it was this niche that sort of blew up, and everyone started to say, hey, let's follow this guy. And then next thing you know, I'm here.
Was there any particular situation when you were working at the bank, or maybe a client that you had kind of interaction with, that actually make it possible to say, I have to quit now? Did you see people making a lot of mistakes when they come to the bank? Or is it just...
God.
Okay.
I have insane stories of how the bank screws the average guy.
Wow.
Okay? Most people, I will say this, I'm allowed to say whatever I want, right?
Of course. Okay. Of course. This is my podcast. That's what I told you.
Okay. So generally speaking, most people are not financially literate. Right?
Yes.
They work, job, paycheck, pay the bills.
Yes.
A little bit of money's left over. What do I do with this money? I don't know. Let me go to the bank. They're gonna take care of me, and they know what to do. And what do you think happens after that?
The bank uses their money to make a lot of money, right?
They put the money into these mutual funds, and they tell you to invest for the long term and all this sort of stuff. And you pay a lot of fees, these mutual funds, right? And so you're taught to just keep saving. And if you look at what is the average home price in Toronto now?
It's probably a little over $1 million.
About $1 million.
Yes.
And if you are trying to save for a down payment, how many years is it going to take to save for a down payment?
Probably 5-6 years or more.
More than that, man. It'll take, like, the average person, I think it's like 26 years or something.
Wow. So let's come back to you, because I know we have a lot of things to talk about in terms of financial situation in Canada and credit score, but I want to know who you are, how you got into, you're an immigrant, I would believe, or you were born here. I really want to know that personal thing about you.
Yeah.
How did you find yourself in the financial world as well?
How did I, what, sorry?
How did you find yourself in the financial world, in the financial industry?
Yeah, I started, so I was born here in Ottawa.
Okay.
My parents are from Pakistan.
Okay.
I grew up in Ottawa. I went to university, Ottawa U. I did finance, commerce, business. I ended up getting a job part-time as a teller at Scotiabank.
Okay.
And that's how it sort of...
So it was really finance from school, from, learning about that, and then you started from the ground up, because, starting from the teller, you understand the, front-facing customer, and you understand what they're doing.
Yes.
Is there any time that when you were working with these institutions, that you try to raise a few things that you notice that maybe we could do this to help client, or no, you didn't raise anything, you just continue to do your work because that's what you're employed for? Is there any time you try to tell any of your managers to say, hey, are we doing this right? Are we helping these people, or we're just making money?
Absolutely, man. I push back a lot, which is why I was always wanting to just leave. Something inside me was like, man, I cannot stay here the rest of my life. I cannot just keep doing this. I think the biggest push, in particular, I'm not going to name exact bank or the exact branch, but at RBC, where I was known for just approving lines of credits for everybody, which is part of why I'm able to do what we do, because we know sort of the loopholes. I was basically pretty adamant about, like, let's just give them whatever they need. Let's lower the interest rates as much as possible. I'll use whatever my powers are to lower interest rates.
And you have the right to do that.
You have the right
Legally.
to do that. You have the right to do that, but then the bank makes less money, and there's this whole like revenue model where the bank is gonna make less money. But I'm thinking, hey, we're gonna save this guy. He's paying 19% interest. Let's make it 7%. Think of how much money he'll save. We'll save him this much money. He'll save it for a down payment. He'll get a mortgage with us. Let's help him out. And then branch manager saying, no, you can't do that. You can't make the rate this low. And I'm like, no, the system says I can. And then
That's
and
what I want to know.
and we're just doing this back and forth. And I'm like, listen, like I don't like. Are you trying to make your manager happy, or are we trying to make the customer happy? Which one is it? Which is why I was like this big push for me to just get out because I couldn't take it.
So legally in the system, you could actually lower the interest rate.
Yes,
I'm calling my bank after this.
that's it, man.
After this podcast, I'm calling all my banks. We're lowering that interest rate.
There's a big push that we have where it's like consumers have rights. Customers have rights. Banks are federally regulated. They are public corporations, and if they look bad in front of the media and all those sorts of things, that'll tank their share price. They have a certain image to uphold.
Okay, I get it now. Let me ask you a question. When you left the banks, the RBC, the CIBC, and you decided to start maybe your own business or start creating content to educate people, I would expect that there should be some pushback from the banks or the financial profession. Did you get any pushback or any threat of they're going to sue you? Did you get that?
No. I've had issues with Instagram. I've had issues with TikTok where I try to post something, it gets taken down.
Okay.
So there's that whole side of sort of censorship where you can't say certain things, and when you start talking about the government and our lovely prime minister and whatever it is, there's certain things you say, they limit the reach or they take down the post altogether.
Wow.
So that's one thing that we've been experiencing, but yeah.
So because you didn't get any pushback from banks, does that mean everything you've said almost everything in your content, you are allowed to say it?
100%.
How? Because, as just average Canadian, you'll be worried that if you say something about how you can actually get a lot of line of credit, I would think the bank would be like, no, that's illegal to say. So you're telling me that all those things you said is legal. That's why you've never get any legal problem with them?
Yes, we have a right as consumers to shop around.
Okay.
We have a right as consumers to have different bank accounts. You don't have to be loyal to one bank. You have a right to basically get a line of credit at one bank on Monday, another bank on Tuesday, another bank on Wednesday. Okay, you have a right as consumers to get the best possible rate. Ironically, the more credit you have available, your credit score will actually go up because you have more credit available.
Yes.
All of a sudden, your score is 800, 850, and you're going to get like a kick-ass mortgage with a very low interest rate.
Wow. Because a lot of people are scared of that, and now you're telling us that, hey, you shouldn't be scared of it. Let me talk about the credit score as well. And every Canadian believe there's one credit score, and I've watched a lot of your content, a lot of your video, and in some of those videos you try to say they are doing it wrong. Can you walk through someone that is using their bank app right now to check their credit score? Can you tell me how you think that number is lying to them about their credit score?
It's complicated. It's not that simple. So
Okay.
there's two credit scores
Okay.
in Canada. One is the Equifax credit score.
Okay.
The other one is the TransUnion credit score. TransUnion credit score is generally higher.
Okay.
So the numbers are always different. If you go on to Borrowwell,
Yes.
you go to Google, go to Borrowwell, and then you log in, make a free account. That gives you your Equifax credit score.
Okay. So these two now, which one would you say, are they both important or one is more important than the other?
They're both important, but I would say the most important one is the Equifax
Why?
because more banks report to Equifax.
Okay. So if are you allowed to mention the banks that actually use Equifax and use TransUnion, or you're not allowed to say that?
We can say it depends on which product. Also, a lot of banks go off of both now.
Okay. So you also said something that in one of your content that you can see someone with we can know someone with bad credit just based on their credit card. I know you've talked about this Capital One
yeah.
concept. Can you walk me through how bankers can identify, even without looking at their, to know that this person have probably bad credit score
Yeah.
based on the credit card they have?
Yeah, Capital One is the worst. I mean, everyone has their own situation. They go through whatever. Let's say you've been through bankruptcy or you want to rebuild your credit score or whatever it is. Guaranteed approval, Capital One.
Okay.
And if you've gone through a bankruptcy or some sort of proposal, or the credit's really, really bad, you can get a secured credit card
Okay.
with Capital One. Let's
Can you
say,
tell me what is secure credit card? Just for people that don't understand what
yeah.
it means.
So let's say you have $1,000.
Okay.
You have to lock in $1,000, and then they'll give you $1,000 credit card. It's secured with that $1,000.
So you need to have some money with them.
You have to have some money.
Okay.
Where you put down $1,000.
Okay.
And they'll give you $1,000 credit card. On the credit bureaus, it looks good that, hey, this guy now has $1,000 credit facility open.
Oh, then we can give him the credit card now.
Correct. Correct.
So, but what if someone don't have money and they want to start rebuilding their credit score? Is Capital One still the best way, or there is a strategy you say, okay, start doing it for them to turn their credit score around? Is there any other thing they can do?
That's a good question. Can you be specific?
I mean,
give me an example of somebody, like what do you mean?
So someone that, for example, their credit score is bad. And
what's bad?
500?
Okay.
490?
Okay. That's very bad, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they want to, because I'm in the real estate, world, so I see a lot of credit scores.
Yes.
And recently I've been seeing like crazy credit score, less than 500. And they don't have the 1,000 extra, because remember, they need to have that 1,000 they can keep there for now before they can get it. If they don't have it, is there any other way they can still get Capital One or any credit card that will help them to start building the credit back?
Yeah. So whenever I see a credit score below 500, something's wrong.
Like what?
Like you have collections, you have late payments, derogatory, some sort of something is there that's preventing your score from going up.
Okay.
I would recommend having, this is just sort of a hack, where don't have just one bank account. Try to have 2, 3, 4 bank accounts. If you don't want to pay a fee, get like a savings account.
Okay.
As your score starts to increase, eventually you get like pre-approved for a credit card.
Credit cards, okay.
But for your example, if someone has a credit score below 500, they want to build their credit, Capital One is easy. You can get 500, maybe $300, $500 credit card. Just use that as much as possible. Don't ever use your debit card.
Okay.
Just use your credit card and pay it off, and that'll start to build.
So when you say pay it off, I always hear, and this is something that I think I ask, and they told me, if you have a credit card, use it and pay it in 3 days. Is there any time frame from when you use a credit card? Because someone said don't pay it right away the same day. Does it have effect on the credit score if you pay it the same day?
Honestly, it doesn't make a huge difference. People get obsessed with payment date, statement date, this many dates, that many dates. It's a couple of points. It's not going to change your life. Like, just make sure you pay it.
You pay it
in full before the payment due date.
Okay.
You can automate it to just take the money out of your bank account full right before the payment due date. That way you never miss a payment.
Okay. So I would say, which is something I believe you agree with us as well. The bank, they don't really want you to be financially literate. They will be happy if you don't know more.
Absolutely.
As someone that have sat behind that desk, understand from the banking perspective, and you face the customer or the client every day to know what they want. What are the 2 to 3 things that you believe people don't catch that are actually legal that they can use with in the bank to get approved for more? What are the 2, 3 things that you can do that they don't know that these are legal things that you can do? I know you've mentioned a lot of it in your content, but can you walk us through like 2 or 3 things they can actually do that's also legal? Because as we started the podcast, now I said there are a few things you said on the episode on your content that I didn't know that you're not going to be like that. You won't be having any legal issue with. But I want to know, if I'm someone that is just meeting you for the first time today, I'm a regular Canadian, I have no knowledge about financials, and I want to go to the bank. What are 2, 3 things I should catch and I can use legally for the banks?
So legally, you are entitled to due process. There's 4 levels you can actually escalate your applications.
Okay, 4
levels. I don't know why no one else talks about this.
I didn't know it too,
We've had people, like our students in our program, they actually work for the escalations department at like TD and RBC and Scotia. So they've worked inside these banks, and they're also giving us this information. You might as well escalate when you get declined. So let's say somebody walks in, they're trying to get like a $10,000 line of credit and they get declined, let's say at RBC.
Okay.
You can move that application. You can have it viewed 4 more times.
These 4 times, would they be checking your credit score? Is it going to have effect on your credit score?
No, it would just be one credit check because it's one application.
Okay. So one of the things you would suggest is if you get rejected once, go back again and tell them.
This is the line. This is gold here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm unhappy with this decision. I would like for you guys to formally escalate my application.
Okay.
Okay. They have to. Then they're gonna go. Oh shit. Okay. And now it goes to the branch manager. The branch manager will look at it. Hopefully he's chill. Hopefully he knows what he's doing and he wants to sort of help you out.
Okay.
If he's a conservative old guy or something, he's going to say, I'm sorry, sir, blah, 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 right? You then say, okay, I would like to re-escalate again. I'm not happy with this decision. Okay, and then it goes to the senior complaints body, and then it takes some time. Some of the big banks are very slow.
Okay.
If you do this, it takes like 45 days sometimes.
Wow.
Okay, but they have to follow through with the process.
Okay.
We've had people get to level 3, they just get approved, right? You're trying to get, let's say, 10,000, they give it to them. They just say, look, the application is not that bad, credit score is okay, he is working, and they just say, okay, let's just give it to him. As long as you have a case, it's fairly effective.
Okay. So that's one. What other thing you think they can also do that is legal that could also stay up the application? I'm talking about to qualify for more, maybe loans, credit card, or line of credit. What other thing they can also do in when they're applying?
When they're applying, you want to, escalating is one thing, but also, if you add a cosigner, obviously that helps with the income and stuff.
They accept cosigner to give you a loan or credit card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In one of your videos, though, I would say maybe many of your videos, you've mentioned 720 credit score as like the key to unlock a lot of benefit with Canadian banking system. Why 720? What do you think I will be able to get if I have a 720 credit score now and I want really some money for start business, get some loan from the bank? Why 720?
720, that's a good question. 720 is a good score. 720 on Equifax.
Okay. Not on credit, not on TransUnion.
Not on TransUnion.
So, why?
Because TransUnion will be like 750 or something.
Okay.
720, to me, that says you're a trustworthy person. You basically pay your stuff on time. You don't have crazy debt. You're not maxed out everywhere. That's basically what 720 means. 720 or higher. That's what we've seen to get, $50,000 credit card, $80,000 line of credit, and then you go to different banks. If you do it simultaneously, you can get a fair bit of capital. Let's say between $100,000 and $200,000 at very low interest rates. Okay. You could use that potentially for a down payment if you structure it properly. If you do the whole creative finance thing with mortgages, real estate, that's another can of worms. Or you could use that portion of line of credit to lend money passively to like become a private lender.
Okay.
Make $1,000 a month in passive income. Or you could use that capital to have a business.
So wow, you mentioned a lot now that I hope the listener are going to be able to unpack, because when I heard the 720, I know it's a good credit score obviously, but I didn't know it's going to unlock a lot of other things. So you're telling me someone with 710 credit score and someone with maybe 740 credit score, they probably might get different interest rate when they are both applying for mortgage?
Yes.
Just because of that 10 difference.
Yeah. The higher your credit score, technically the lower your interest rate should be for your mortgage.
Wow. How can we negotiate the interest rates? That's a big topic because, people will be like, oh, I call the bank, I want a credit card, this interest rate they give me. They always have this 21% that is on their website. You get a credit card, 21% interest or whatever. How can we negotiate that with the bank? Is it even allowed?
You're talking about credit cards or for mortgages and loans and lines of credit?
Honestly, I would say all. Whichever one you think we could negotiate. How can we do that?
So there's this thing you say, I would like a interest rate exception.
Interest rate exception.
I would like an interest rate exception. I've been with you guys for X amount of years. My payroll is going here. I'm sure there's something you guys can do. Right now, the interest rate is 19%. I was really hoping for something like 7%. And then they say, oh, I'm sorry. Like, no, I'm like, look, did you want to put me on hold? Let me, like, I'm sure there's something you can do. There's this whole back and forth. They're just people at the end of the day, right? And so you want to be able to assert yourself and just know your rights. If you know the rules and you know the formulas, and then you just push yourself, then they a lot of times it's pretty successful.
Wow. And they won't, so legally, you're allowed to ask for that, and also they must try to escalate it to get you close to what you're asking for.
Correct.
So all Canadians listening to this now, they can actually call their bank and say, hey, I've been with you for so time, and they still have good credit score. I would say, can you do something? And there is a higher chance they're going to reduce their interest rate. Because I've heard this many times. I've never called to reduce my interest rate. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I've heard this many times. I'm like, is it really possible? I said, I'm going to ask you today if it's possible. I'm going to call all my banks today or tomorrow to ask.
Let me know how it goes. Just text me.
I will. You mentioned something about real estate too, now, which is my industry. I kind of recall if it's more than one video. Is it possible, or have you helped any of your, clients, or even you yourself, buy real estate in Canada with zero down payment? Is it still possible in this market, or is not something you can talk about?
What do you think?
I would believe what you said, because if you've not been sued,
Yeah.
then it's legal to say that. So it's possible to buy property with zero down payment.
Absolutely.
Are you allowed to walk us through how we can do it?
So,
Just summarize it. I know it's not something this is your business as well. So
yeah. So 0% down. So if, for example, you are
in this market.
in this market, yeah.
Okay.
You just have to be careful with how the mortgage is done.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Let's say someone gets $100,000 in lines of credits.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say he gets $50,000 at RBC and $50,000 at TD.
Okay.
He now has $100,000 line of credit total available. He wants to buy a place, right? Let's say we're doing 20% down. What is that?
Oh, 20% of 100,000. That's about I think $500,000 property is 20% of.
Yeah. So
yes.
You're trying to buy a place for, let's say, 500,000.
Yes.
100,000 is a down payment, but it's from line of credit.
Okay.
Okay. There's two ways to do this.
Okay.
One way is questionable. The legit way to do it is to basically, when you're doing the mortgage, they are factoring in the line of credit payment
Okay.
into the ratios.
Okay.
So that's legitimate. You just, this is I'm getting the source of down payment is officially from line of credit, and I'm being upfront about it.
Okay.
This is the payment. The gross debt servicing, total debt servicing needs to be 3240. And based on these numbers, you could then get approved, and you're fully saying, hey, the down payment's from the lines of credits. As long as you're within the ratios,
okay,
you are able to get approved.
Okay. What if they didn't approve you because of the line of credit? Is there any other thing you can do? Can you escalate the same way you said? You can say, I would want you to escalate this. If they didn't approve the mortgage because of that, he has line of credit of 100,000, but the payment on those line of credit, if you use it, is this amount. What can the person do at that point?
Yeah, at that point, you can push a little bit, but it's more so based on the property, the value of the property, and the overall. Because they look at, when you're doing a mortgage, they look at everything.
Okay.
They look at the appraised value of the house, the credit score, the income, the ratios, the debt, everything. So that's a little bit different than escalating the 4 times and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. One of your content, I believe, blew up people's mind a lot. And I'm saying this because some of my friends are like, have you seen that guy more on TikTok? It's the idea of using debt to build wealth. I'm an immigrant. Yeah, I mean, you were born here, but you're also son of immigrants, I believe. We were not taught to come to this country and use debt. Debt is like a taboo from where I come from. You don't owe people money. You don't do this. But in some of your content, you said we can use debt to build wealth. And even though I do have knowledge of because I'm in the industry, however, how would you explain that to regular, Joe on the street now, hearing using Canadian debt to build wealth? How would you explain that to them?
Okay, I would tell Joe, Joe, the whole thing is debt. It's all debt. Everything, all money is debt.
Oh, okay.
So I've said this before with the whole gold standard, and basically the government prints as much money as they want. The whole system is eroded. And if you are not using debt to become financially literate, financially wealthy, you're just kind of you're taking the stairs.
Instead of using
everyone's taking the elevator, you are taking the stairs. You're just working, and the money's just being eroded. So you have to use debt or you fall behind. That's what I would tell Joe.
So because you believe the wealthy people, that's what they do. That's what they use. It's interesting though, because when people hear debt, it's scary. But I hope people will listen, because I'm in the industry. Before I get into that industry about 6 years ago, I also have a little bit of reservation about I don't want that. I got to unlock a lot of credit card approval when I understand that, hey, listen, the more debt you have, the more you're paying the debt, the more they see you as credible person, they can give the money to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to let's go back to Canadian life now. And there's something that I noticed probably in the last, I've been in this country a little over 7 years, okay, or going to 7 years. And I've noticed something, and I believe you have noticed it too, because one of your videos you said it. Have you noticed teenagers and some young adults, I would say 25, 30, there's a pandemic of blaming government for everything.
Absolutely.
There's a pandemic of blaming someone for everything. And I've never said this the way I'm going to say it to you today on my podcast, but it's concerning. I have friends that they themselves don't learn or have financial knowledge. You try to teach them, they don't. They always go back to blaming the government. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we shouldn't hold our government accountable. I'm one of the person that we want to hold the government accountable. But I genuinely believe there are a lot of decisions that people make in their teenagers, in their 15, 16. What would do you notice that as well in Canadian culture now, that you see a 15, 16-year-old guy or 17-year-old guy that decided not to, pay attention to learning something, to be able to coming out saying government caused this. Do you notice that
Absolutely.
as well?
People have given up. Young kids, 15, 16, 20 year olds, they've just given up, and they're just like, there's no hope. There's just hopelessness.
What's your advice for such group of people that complaining, blaming government, blaming people is what they resort to? What's your advice for them to change that around today?
You take this monitor, take it and just shake them upside down. Okay? Because complaining is not going to get you anywhere.
God. Do you mind elaborating more? It's not going to take them anywhere, but what should they do?
I've recently started posting a lot, and then I have my reasons for kind of I guess feeling a certain way about the government, and I want to express kind of what's happening, what's being presented versus what's actually there. So I have this urge to kind of say the truth and what's actually happening. But if you look at the comments and all these people, and there's a lot of negativity, and people are just pointing fingers and blaming. All the energy is going into just blaming, and they're not doing anything about it. So my advice to young people who are kind of given up and they're just complaining about the government is to just focus on what you can control. Okay? Because if you keep focusing on what you can control, that's how you get depressed. That's how you get miserable, and you just keep doom scrolling, and then you just hate your life.
I honestly, it's really for me personally as a parent, it's really concerning to me. Like, how can we change the mind of the young people if right now all they think about is just to complain? And some of them, when you look at them personally, their decisions now, we're talking about financing today, you never see them trying to listen to something like this. And they end up just saying, government caused this, my dad caused this, my mom caused this. It's just concerning. I've been saying I'm going to discuss this with people, someone like you that, you have many different of clients that are, either they take their financial life seriously or they don't. You've seen people. I just want to know your own perspective on how they can turn it around. And I'm glad you mentioned a few points. Let me ask you one quick question, and I want you to complete the sentence. Canadian banking system is designed to do what? If you want to complete that sentence, what will you say?
It's designed to keep you as a slave.
As a slave.
Should I water it down?
That's scary.
It's designed to keep you working, paying taxes. It's designed to keep you just basically whatever money you have, put it into a mutual fund. Mutual fund has the highest fees. Okay. And then you go to the bank, and the bank's going to give you this plain vanilla mortgage, higher interest rate mortgage. And they're not going to tell you how to double up your payments to save money on interest. You're just going to keep working, paying as much taxes as possible. You have the primary residence, and you're paying just ungodly amount of interest. And that's your existence. That's what the bank wants. That's what the government wants.
No one wants to be slave. The way you put it, and that's one of the things I like about your content. You say it as it is. I think we've been having amazing conversations since we started this podcast, and I want to probably have two more questions to ask you before we wrap it up. But one of them is, if regular Joe or Jane listening now, listen to this episode, fired up, saying yes, I get it right now. I know what I need to do. Mo has given this advice. What would you tell them to do in the next 24 hours or in the next 1 week or even in the next 1 month, what's one thing you're going to give them to turn everything around? Either their credit score, their finances live, or how they can actually get some sort of funding to start whatever they want to do. They're listening now. They're ready. You've motivated them. You've told them that, hey, you can do it. What's one thing you think they can do in the next 24 hours or 1 week?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. I would suggest, okay, a lot of people don't do this, okay?
Okay.
Take a moment and just figure out, okay, how much money am I making per month? Okay, what's the income per month? What's the expenses per month? Okay, get a number of how much money you have left over, or maybe your negative cash flow or positive cash flow.
Just get the number.
Just get the number.
Okay.
That in itself is like, people don't do that. People get paid, the money goes. People get paid, money, and then they just go in a cycle.
Yeah.
So figure out your budget, how much, where you are, and then take a moment and say, if nothing changes in the next 60 months, the next, let's say, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, where am I going to be? Okay, it should either make you excited or it should piss you off.
So if it pisses me off, what should I do?
If you get pissed off, that's good. You should use that anger and say, hey, how am I going to change this? A lot of times, most solutions, you need money. So you need access to capital. You can negotiate, get money, let's say $50,000, $100,000. Figure out a plan of how you can make more passive income, or use that money to buy a property or use it to buy a business. I recommend to everyone that if you are just working the one job, it's just, you have to do something else now. You don't have a choice.
Yes, you said, as I actually heard that in one of your content. You believe nobody can, in Canada today, you can't have one job or one business. It's not going to work.
Yeah, in your opinion, let me ask you, Aziz. What is a good household income? In your opinion?
In my opinion.
And I'm not talking just kind of okay. I'm like, you're good. Like, you're really good. Household income, how much do you think?
I would say right now, I would say also the whole total house, I would say between 160 to 200 might make you be in a good way, live a good life, I think. The question should be, how many families making 160,000 or 200,000?
That's it. Not very much. My number is about 250,000 a year.
To be good.
To be good. Household income. So husband's making, let's say, 150,000. Wife is making, let's say, 100,000.
Okay. Which is rare.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, husband is making 100,000. Wife is making, let's say, 80,000. So that's 180.
Yes.
But you need 250. So what the hell are you gonna do? You're short $70,000. You have to be financially literate. You have to invest. You have to make passive income, portfolio income, side hustle. You don't have a choice.
You don't. There is there are things you've mentioned today that I think a lot of Canadian resident or Canadian citizen or anything would relate better, because they understand there is credit score system here. They understand that part. But let me touch on one group of people that they don't understand that yet. People that are coming into the country for the first time, immigrants.
Yes.
If I am an immigrant today that I just come into Canada last week, or I'm coming next week, quick response. What will you tell me to do to be in a better position with my credit score and start building my wealth in Canada?
I would say whatever bank account you've opened, most people open one bank account when they come to Canada.
I did too. I did one for over 2 years before I realized that what am I doing?
Okay.
I should have more than one.
That's it. So try to have, I would say, 4 bank accounts. Okay. Some of them charge you fees, so you can open a savings account. Tangerine, Simply, these online banks, they're also good. They don't charge a fee.
Okay. So sorry. I know you have complete part of that answer. I hope you hold it.
Yeah.
The e-banks, the Tangerine of the world, the RBC, is there anything that make one better than the other actually? Or are they the same thing in terms of process?
Some of them are better for credit cards. Some are better for lines of credits.
Okay.
So the government saying inflation, as per the quantitative within the fiscal, all this crap that they're saying, okay, inflation has come down and all this like garbage, and that's the 10-year average is 2.6%. The change in grocery prices is 8%.
So I was even right, because the way I was saying it was different. So it's almost like 120 or 200% of the increase of the inflation.
Yeah.
Holy moly. How can someone survive in that scenario? knowing that your grocery have not only doubled,
Yeah.
almost tripled?
I'll tell you the dumbest thing you could do.
Tell me,
The
please.
dumbest thing to do is do absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Do nothing. Do nothing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working, keep working, keep working. They print money as much as they can. All the money goes to taxes. Where does the money go? Where does it go? You tell me.
The taxes.
Where does our tax money go?
Conspiracy theory or be real?
Be real. Both. All of the above. Tell me.
Wars? Sending money to foreign wars or what?
Yeah, but why? Why? Why can't we just take all that money, invest it into Canada? That's what drives me crazy. How much did we send to Ukraine? What is it?
A lot.
Lots of billions and billions of dollars have gone to
Yes.
Ukraine
Yes.
to help with this and that. And then there's mortgage delinquencies have gone up. Food banks have crises where like they've never had this many people like at food banks.
Okay.
Okay, so all this money could go towards Canada. That's another
Conversation.
conversation.
Although I've seen a lot of government officials trying to argue that the money going to Ukraine is not from our taxes. While should I believe politicians saying something? I think no. I think I would rather believe financial people that know what is happening and know our money, which you're one of them.
I'm telling you, man. I noticed a trend. People who are into finance, a lot of mortgage brokers, a lot of people who are experienced mortgage brokers, and they do content. They sound exactly like me. They're saying, look, this is insane. This is crazy. Where the hell is the money going? Look at what's happened to our GDP per capita. Look at the economy. Look at what they're saying inflation is. Look at what the cost of groceries is. So it's what's happening in Canada, I think, is insane. It's absolutely crazy. And I think more and more people are waking up, and you have to educate yourself, listen to podcasts, get that knowledge, get that experience. That'll elevate you. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded.
Yeah.
Some people are not ready. They're just it is, I don't know what.
I don't know what to do.
It could be worse, right? You wanna surround yourself with people who are have that fire, that energy.
Yeah.
And then you resonate with what is that saying? You're the sum total of the 5 people you hang around with,
Yeah, you become the sixth
right? You become
dumb
the
person or
sixth.
the sixth smart person.
So surround yourself with like-minded people who have that energy and have that fire, and they wanna upgrade themselves.
Mo, I have one quick question.
Tell me.
The government, the liberals, the conservative, people always think one is better. Like, if we vote conservative, they're better, the economy will change. Liberals will make the economy better. Do you think there's any difference between these two group of people?
What a good question, man. Oh my God. Do you have 3 more hours for me?
I do.
So I'll just be real. I'll be real. Between liberals and conservatives, one is definitely better than the other.
Okay. In what way? You don't need to tell me which one, but in what way? If you
Conservatives are better.
Okay.
So this is just from my personal perspective in regards to fiscal policy, in regards to freedom of speech, censorship, the individual having control over their life versus the government having control.
Okay.
So the whole socialism versus capitalism, that whole sort of debate and things. So from that, I guess ideology, I would say conservatives are more in line with sort of my way of thinking.
Okay.
That being said, I don't believe any sort of government is going to help you and take care of you.
You have to take care of yourself.
You have to take care of yourself, and no government is going to put money in your pocket without any sort of consequence. Right?
Yes.
If you get $1,000, $2,000, and it's for free, you didn't do anything, chances are inflation is going to go up, or there's some sort of thing you have to pay for. So it's on you to take care of your finances and actually produce and have value, and then take care of yourself and take care of your family.
Okay, Mo, I have one particular question that I think, when I have conversation with some people, regular Canadians, the idea of having a credit coach or financial coach is a little bit foreign to them, or they don't see the advantage of having that, which is where your industry, your business really, focuses on. What's a credit coach or a financial coach? Would you advise people to have one?
It depends on what you need.
So if the finances is bad, you want to improve it, or they want to actually see out in the next 3 to 5 years they can be in a better position. At that point, do they need a credit coach or a financial coach?
Credit coach would be more so like having to do with your credit score, making sure that's optimized. If you're looking to get financing, if you're looking to get funding,
Okay.
Finance coach is more so kind of everything, credit, lines of credits, and being able, because people are nervous about using the lines of credits.
Okay.
When you have 150,000, 200,000 in lines of credits, you can't just plop it onto go to Vegas or something.
You have to use it for something.
You got to use it efficiently, intelligently. So people are nervous about that aspect of it.
Okay.
So people need that guidance, that mentorship to kind of make sure they're nudged in sort of the right direction.
Okay.
And
is that what your business focus on the credit coach part, or you kind of combine a little bit of both?
A bit of both. It's kind of combined. So credit side, and then actually getting approved, helping people with that sort of thing, and to secure the capital. And then there's also the side of actually deploying it
in the right way.
In the right way, or just helping with, let's say, a mortgage or buying their first property.
Okay. Mo, I don't know how I can thank you enough for coming today, but to round this up, is there anything that you think I didn't mention today that when you were driving down here to come to the studio to have a conversation with me today, that you have at the back of your mind, like you hope I'm going to ask you that I've not asked you today? Is there anything that you wish I asked you today that I have not? And that you believe is going to be beneficial to people listening to this today?
I think so. There's two things. One is basically to disassociate and just sort of stop paying attention to what you see on the news.
The mainstream media.
The mainstream. That's a huge thing. Where to be specific, we talk about inflation. Okay. In your opinion, what do you think inflation is?
Okay. Let me just put the simple answer. I think the value of the economic situation of a country, how it's going down or up or down. So is it good? If inflation is lower, that means, okay, it's a little bit better. If it's going up, then it's bad. That's my simple answer.
Right.
Is that the right answer?
So that's the correct kind of official answer.
Okay, good. See now?
Okay.
That's why you're here.
Okay. The problem that this is my opinion on this, okay? Inflation is the measure of how much the money is eroding. Okay, how much the cost of living is going up. We generally think inflation is how we measure this. Okay, but if you compare the rate of inflation for the last 10 years and the rate of increase in grocery prices, okay, inflation is like this, grocery prices is like this.
Almost double or triple. It's
insane how much the cost of food has gone up, and then they keep reporting inflation is only this much. So there's this phenomenon of people thinking they're crazy, that, oh my God, I'm bad with money. Oh my God, I'm not using my money effectively and all this sort of stuff, when in reality, everything has just gone up and like insane.
Wow.
So one thing that I would say to everyone who's watching, you're not crazy. Things have gone up significantly higher than what they're reporting. Here's another stat for you, okay? This is going to blow your mind. In your opinion, Aziz, what percentage of Canadians have credit card debt?
I would say credit card debt. I think I've seen something that said about 70%. I'm not sure if it's the credit card or yeah, I think it's credit card. I think it's about 70%.
What percent? So the people who are above the age of 18.
Okay.
So there's what is it, 40 million people in Canada or so?
Yeah, 45, yeah.
Right. So anyone who's above the age of 18, what percentage of Canadians they're paying 19% interest?
19%
interest on their credit cards.
Okay.
What do you think the percentage is?
I think that should be probably 80-90%. I think it should be higher.
It's 47%.
Oh, okay. That are paying 19%.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is it's almost half.
Okay.
So almost half the Canadians are paying credit card interest.
Okay. And with what you're teaching now, if they understand it, probably less people will be paying that high interest.
Correct. Okay. Having credit card debt is insane. If you have credit card debt, that's crazy. That means you have like no savings.
Is there any way people can live in this country without having credit card debt?
You have to increase your score, become financially literate, think outside the box. That's kind of my whole thing. You have to, whatever you're doing, take a moment and, just sort of turn it upside down and just completely restructure everything, because the way it's going now, it's just going to get worse, unfortunately.
So I really appreciate you kind of explaining that part of inflation. Now I understand that inflation is what they use for you to see, but the actual thing happening at the back end is not actually the inflation. Grocery going up, everything going up. So a lot of people that are making $100,000 like 10 years ago or 8 years ago, thinking they're doing fine. Now they realize maybe their income have increased like 10,000. They realize they can't even afford everything. And people would think, am I spending too much? So it's actually not that. It's something that's happening at the back end that is increasing everything.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Mo, thank you so much for coming to the podcast today. I'm really excited about this conversation when people will listen to it, because it's one such important topic that, one, many people don't have it the way I've seen your videos. Two, many people don't even have interest of listening to it. So you've done a very good job today to first, educate the public, and also coming to this podcast to educate whoever is going to be listening to the podcast today, my listeners, the audience. They'll be able to learn something from this. And I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, brother.
You too, man. You too. It's been a pleasure.